What is up? This is your LA in a minute. And this is a fun one. Whenever I run an episode mentioning San Pedro or Los Feliz, or is it San Pedro and Los Feliz, I get comments in both directions about my pronunciation, or is it my mispronunciation? Either way, I wanted to find out the correct pronunciation of these two beloved LA neighborhoods. Let's get into it. So San Pedro is one of my favorite LA communities, with the Korean Friendship Bell, the port, the Vincent Thomas Bridge, Sunken City. But when I grew up, I used to say San Pedro, maybe because my favorite Dodger player growing up was Pedro Guerrero. Same with Los Feliz. I used to say Los Feliz, but perhaps that's not right either. And by the way, this, a real freeway sign from 2015, is definitely not right. Let's talk about San Pedro first, which is interesting because the proper Spanish pronunciation is Pedro. But according to Doug Hansford of the San Pedro Bay Historical Society, the Pedro moniker stretches back to the turn of the 19th century when the Spanish language Pedro turned into Pedro, perhaps because of anti-Spanish feelings after the Spanish-American War in 1898. Furthermore, San Pedro, or San Pedro, was a large immigrant community of Europeans, Portuguese, Croatians, Italians, and apparently Pedro was the way that the fishermen like to pronounce it. So what about Los Feliz, or Los Feliz? Well, this community might take home an award for the most controversial pronunciation in Los Angeles. You're talking about Los Feliz, Los Feliz, Los Feliz, or Los Feliz. Beloved Los Angeles historian DJ Waldy said the common Anglo pronunciation stems from a Midwestern takeover of sorts in Los Angeles in the late 1800s and early 1900s that confounded residents who often wondered if they should be using maybe a more Spanish pronunciation. Turns out the name has been, well, lost in translation and has been confusing people ever since. This has actually been a never-ending debate in Los Angeles that some people like to say, well, it's Feliz Navidad, so it should be Los Feliz. But the community is not named after a word. It's named after a person, Jose Vicente Tomas Feliz. Feliz owned the entire rancho, the entire area east of present-day Hollywood, and he was gifted the 10 miles of land from the Spanish crown as a thank you for his service at the founding of the Pueblo de Los Angeles, hence the name, Rancho Los Feliz. So in conclusion, I know my pronunciation is terrible, and I know you have a certain way of pronouncing San Pedro, Los Feliz, and we haven't even begun to talk about Los Angeles, or Los Angeles, as they used to call it in the 1950s. Either way, let me know what you think. Leave your pronunciations in the comments. All right, LA, it's been a minute.